the air inside your home could tell stories? What if one of those stories was silently affecting your health and dangerous without you even knowing it? Hey y'all, I'm Anita L Williamson, Associate Broker with James River Realty Group. Did you know radon is an odorless and colorless gas that is known to be the second leading cause of lung cancer in the U.S.? First, you may be asking, what is radon? Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas released from the normal decay of uranium in the rocks and soil. It's invisible, odorless, and tasteless. It can enter homes through cracks and gaps in the foundation. But why is radon important? Because prolonged exposure to high levels of radon can pose serious health risks. Testing for radon is straightforward but crucial. Professionals place a testing device in your home for at least 48 hours. Some homes, depending on the square footage, will need more than one testing device to accurately measure radon levels. In Virginia, if a test comes back with levels above 4.0, buyers can request that the seller pays for remediation. Remediation for radon involves installing systems to reduce radon levels, which takes radon out of the home and releases it back into the air. The installation of the mitigation system can take a few days, but it is essential for your health and safety. Recently, I had a buyer who encountered a very high radon test in the home that she was purchasing. The home she was about to purchase tested for those high levels. So as part of our repair request to the seller, they agreed to remediate and promptly took action. However, radon being colorless and odorless meant we would have to do a retest in order to make sure that that mitigation solution solved the high radon problem in the home. What's important to know is the timeline from installing the mitigation system to beginning the retest to receive the results is a really long timeline, and you can't speed it up. After the initial remediation, it is required to wait 24 hours by the EPA before you can start the new 48-hour test. The reason for this is because you have to give the new system time to work and draw out that radon to reduce the levels. In this case, the results were still very high. We had to contact the mitigation company to come back out to do even more mitigation procedures. You know what that meant? Waiting a few more days for an opening in their schedule. Then we had to wait 24 hours before we could begin retesting. And then guess what? The results were still high radon levels. Needless to say, the cycle of mitigation and retesting delayed our closing, but emphasize the importance of diligence and ensuring a safe home. In the end, after several mitigation steps, the radon levels were brought down to an acceptable level under the EPA guidelines. Although delays can be very frustrating, ensuring the safety of your home from radon is a priority that protects everyone involved. By understanding and addressing radon, we pave the way for not just a successful sale, but a healthier future new homes family. However, these delays have effects on both the buyer and the seller. The buyer can have interest rate lock issues with their lender because of the delay in closing. This means additional money out of the buyer's pocket to pay for a rate extension, which they aren't cheap. Plus, if you have already sold their home or given notice to their landlord, they could be out of a place to live. Also, the cost of installing the mitigation system can be pricey, and the retesting after each mitigation can also be expensive for the seller. Additionally, it could hinder them from buying their next home and delay that closing as as well. Talk about a domino effect. If you are worried about radon in your home, don't wait for a buyer to discover if high levels of radon are in your home. Take the first steps toward a safer home today by scheduling a professional radon test. If you need recommendations for testing professionals in our area, just reach out to me. I am happy to help. I'm Anita L Williamson, helping you establish roots in Central Virginia.